There is a picture circulating the internet of Georgia's tight end rumor, the four star guys that people like to highlight. I don't know what the copyright rules are on that, so I'm not gonna show it to you, but I'm sure you may have seen it. A bunch of accounts been posting it. You got Oscar Delp, Arik Gilbert, Darnell Washington, and Brock Bowers all in a picture, during summer drills together. Not in full pads, but it shows you just the pure size of this group. And I have some. I know it's a picture, but there's some takeaways that I had from looking at it, and some of them have to do with Gilbert and what kind of shape he's in, and just the physicality of these guys. And we'll just talk a little bit more about what could be the most exciting position group in college football this coming season, something that we've talked about a lot, but it's a fun topic to jump on. Ryan Curley from Dog Post here, talking about Georgia's tight end, something we're going to keep on chucking with. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION because it's got cool pictures of the tight ends doing crazy things like the 6'7", 265 Darnell Washington hurdling a defender on a pass. Insider book. You can also get our preview magazine for free if you order DAWGSTRUCTION right now. Link is down below. Make sure to check all that out. Got to plug it. Sorry for the background noise. I'm not alone, and I do not have. You know the situation I'm in. I don't have soundproof or anything right now. This is temporary. All right, just another month or so. So we know Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington. We know the story. They were out for this spring. We got to see a taste of Arik Gilbert. We got to see a taste of Darnell Washington, or of Oscar Delp in the red and black. Both did well. Delp with over 70 receiving yards. Gilbert with 2 touchdowns in that G-Day game. And it's impressive. It's very impressive to think about what this tight end group can do, and just on paper. But the picture I'm talking about looks like Arik Gilbert's slimmed down. All right, we know that he got up to a weight, 250, 240, 250, 230. In that 230 to 250 range, I think is where Georgia wants him. All right, but we know when he came back from his hiatus from the program, he transfers. He's gone for a while. Now he's back, and now he's practicing. When he got back, we know that he came in not in the shape that was expected of him, at least not his playing shape that he's used to. And so that's been a big talk. Kirby was very open about that during spring press conferences and spring practice, that Gilbert needs to slim down more, and that has put him more of a tight end role. And I think they're going to use him as a hybrid between tight end and wide receiver, but it looks like Gilbert has started to really slim down. We know that he slimmed down for G-Day, but not quite. I think around 260 or 70 is what they said he was for G-Day. He looks like he's more in shape, because I was at those spring practices. I got a little bit of access to those spring practices, and he wasn't the he is a physical freak, but he wasn't. You could tell that he was still a little bit out of shape. And this picture that circulated the other day, I think he is definitely slimmed down a little bit. Now it's an image. It's not even a super high quality image, but if Gilbert is already in shape, like imagine what he's gonna be come August and September when the season gets underway. How imposing he and Bowers and Darnell Washington and Delp really are. ESPN. So this is what he was at LSU, because this hasn't changed on ESPN, and they still have got his 2020 stats up here. So at LSU, they say 6'5", 248. It looks like he's gotten close to that. I mean, eyeball test, it looks like he's in the 250. So it looks like he's gotten down. Georgia's got a great training staff, great medical staff, so he's definitely getting help in that regard. If he's faster and smoother than what we saw at G-Day, opposing defenses should be really worried about that. And then the funniest thing to me about these tight ends, Brock Bowers is the smallest one. I mean, he's 6'4". I think he's a little shorter than 6'4". All right, just seeing him compared to other people. 6'4", 230. All right, Oscar Delp is about 6'5", 225 range. We know Oscar's taller. And then Darnell Washington is 6'7", almost 270, if not 270. Brock Bowers, the best one out of the group, the best tight end in college football, is the smallest. And it's kind of funny to me. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but someone that can plow through defenders, someone that's super fast, someone that's a good route runner, and just overall great with the football in his possession. Bowers is the smallest out of this physically imposing group, and he causes the most problems for opposing defenses. But that was another thing that really stood out to me. It's very interesting to think about how they can use. We saw them with Bowers and Washington out there at the same time, but how can they implement Oscar Delp and Gilbert is going to be very exciting to watch. And what I think is a huge problem for opposing defenses, because even in the SEC where it is because of recruiting, it's the most physically gifted conference as far as across the board. These players, these 5-star athletes. So I'm trying to think in a defensive coordinator's mind, a linebacker's mind, a safety's mind, a big cornerback's mind. What if Georgia employs Bowers and Gilbert and Washington out there at the same time, and let's say all three of them go out for a route? How many programs have players that can cover more than those guys at once with someone that can physically match up? There's not a lot of people that can physically match up with Darnell Washington. That's very few and far between. We saw Brock Bowers embarrass defenses. And then Arik Gilbert is kind of a blend of the two guys as far as a physicality standpoint. He's right in the middle there. I would be surprised if there was more than 5 defenses that can really match up against that. You've got linebackers at Alabama. We know that Auburn's got their hybrid linebackers, but I don't think that anyone can really match up with all of them at the same time, especially when you got to worry about putting your best cover guy on someone like A.D. Mitchell or Kearis Jackson or Dominic Blaylock. It's troubling, I think, for an opposing defense to really think about this. And I think that we've talked a lot about these tight ends and what they can be, and I think there's a lot of hype around it. And it's starting to get to the point where we're at the end of June, right? So how long until the season starts? We got the full month of July, the full month of August, September 3rd. So we're coming up at 60-something, 70 days till the season. I'm itching for it. I'm really itching for it. This is one of the big reasons why I'm itching to see what Georgia can do this year, and one of the reasons why I think Georgia's offense is going to be really special this year. I think it's going to be a top 10 offense. Very, very confident it's going to be a top 10 offense, because really it was a top 10 offense last year. It was one of the best offenses in college football. Something that was overlooked, something that Kirby Smart talked about a lot last year. But I think it's just from a football standpoint, not even from a Georgia standpoint. Let's say you're just a football lover, you're not even a Georgia fan watching this. Is that not exciting to think about? Wow, what could they really do with that? I think it is. Maybe not if you're in the SEC East. Maybe not if you're in the SEC. Maybe that doesn't make you happy. But I think from a football standpoint, this is something that I look at as, wow, I'm really curious as to how it's going to go. We haven't seen a lot of that. That's going to be it for today. Ryan Kelly from Dog Post. Make sure you're checking out the site. Make sure you're checking out the link down below for DAWGSTRUCTION and our preview mag for the 2022 season. As always, thank you guys.